Okay, so that's a really good, I think between you, you've made a really good summary of what the prerequisites are. So let's now move the conversation on a stage. So with those in place, how do organisations now take the right next steps, first steps, let's say, towards delivering a service, in full? What are the key things to do to get the ball rolling? So Hilbrand, shall we come back to you?
Yeah, I think the first thing is to understand what your customers really need. So it is doing that customer research that will then probably already give you a pretty good idea on how that possible value proposition could look like. But that's, I would say, the starting point. And then actually, when you have defined a value proposition, you need to also validate that. So work alongside a couple of your key customers. We used to call that, or we call it, sort of a co-creation model, because whatever wonderful value proposition you design, you will find out that as you start working with these clients, it will be tweaked and fine-tuned quite a lot.
So Ian, would you like to add to those two?
Yeah, I mean, just picking up directly on what Hilbrand was saying there. One of the things that we've seen very recently with a client is not having a really clear idea around how scalable and how standardized the model is that they're exploring. And I think that really keys into what you were saying, Hilbrand. So what is the end customer need, and is that the same for all the customers, or a good chunk of the customers? So I think validating that is critical. We talked a bit earlier about finance. It's really important to understand what constraints that the business is operating within. It's also, I suppose, really critical also to understand what risks that the business is opening itself up to, and if there are new risks, it might be that some of the execution of the business model might be undertaken potentially by third parties. So making sure you've got the right assembly of partners and ensuring that they understand your needs, your business model, and that you find a way, particularly on the risk topics, to navigate your way through that. Again, it's foundational stuff that I would say should be in place and thought through at an early stage. And and then the point that was made again, how scalable is this, and how does that map to the financials and the business case?